What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and the Road to NBA 2K21 series. I've been on vacation recently, had a fun time with some friends at the shore for about a week, but I'm back home and I'm ready to grind some more 2K and some more videos in general. We've completed 1 month of my first season with the New York Knicks and there's been some good and some bad. We have a 5-6 record as we wrap up the month of December and turn the calendar to the new year, opening January with a matchup against my college rival Jerome Clifford, as me and Clifford go way back. The Wizards drafted Clifford in the lottery to replace John Wall, teaming him up with Westbrook and Beal, as Washington is slowly becoming a dark horse contender in the virtual NBA. Our schedule is finally easing up a bit after battling some premier teams last episode. However, we have lost Julius Randle's services for a few weeks as he suffered a bone bruise in his knee after colliding with Jimmy Butler in the loss to Miami last episode. But to be fair, Randle wasn't exactly playing all that well, and his place will be Obi Toppin, who currently averages 11 points and 5.5 rebounds off the bench for us and has been by far our best bench players. So if anyone's going to be injured, at least it's going to be Randle, so we can have a good long look at Obi Toppin as Ferran knocks down a 3 to begin this episode. It's good to be back as Ferran averaging 23 points on the season. My first assist of episode 66 goes to my hometown friend, he puts up 23 points and attempts 7 threes a game, knocks down 42%. He's been playing very well thus far as Toppin now steps into one and gets the friendly bounce. On the other end, it was Davis Bertans knocking down a 3, and now Washington delivers one right back as we continue to go back and forth from beyond the arc. Both teams making 2 out of the gates as I deflect that pass from Russell Westbrook. How about Ferran to me in the corner as I step into one? There's a 3-pointer. Ferran returns the favor. I knock one down. I take less than 2 per game, but I knock down 42% thus far from 3-point lands. So I'm not taking a lot, but I'm making a lot this season, which was a very nice change of pace with how bad I shot the 3-ball in the playoffs a season ago. There's a nice take on Jerome Clifford as I'm out of the blocks fast. How about 9 points and 3 assists as there's Thomas Bryant soaring to the cup. Nice assist by Jerome Clifford, but bigger news right now, the Knicks starting out 8 of 11. This is the best our offense has looked all season long as Toppin fires again from the same spot. Really liking that right wing out of the gate. And there's assist number 4, Obi Toppin stepping in for Julius Randle, as we're looking good though thus far. Now we see Emmanuel quickly checking in as me and Mitchell Robinson go with the pick and roll. Of course I gotta lob him, and he's so deadly around the rim. Mitchell Robinson goes with the reverse to give me assist number 5. And this first quarter continues to be very good for me and my teammates. Here comes Quickly, who struggled so far this season, but there he goes, knocking one down. A 10-point lead for the Knicks, assist number 6. And as you guys know, Emmanuel Quickly, there's a snapshot of his stats, under 30% shooting and 3.3 points per game. He's been probably the biggest disappointment of the season, and we really need him to step up his game. And you guys told me that I could download Emmanuel Quickly's cyberface, so I did, and so we don't have to worry about me creating his face anymore. Meanwhile, Ferran, he's dunked on plenty of players so far this season, and Russell Westbrook returns the favor as I check out with the rest of the starters, but coming back in, and Washington all of a sudden boasts a 6-point advantage. So once again, the bench continues to be so topsy-turvy, so up and down, it's hard to trust them when I'm off the floor, as now we're the ones down by double figures as Toppin hits me on the backdoor cut. He continues to make solid play after play. There is another basket for myself. I'm up to a baker's dozen, and us New York Knicks. That is one focal point of Tom Thibodeau's offense. We're number 2 in the league with the assist per game category. That's something I always seem to bring to whatever team I play for. I deliver a nice pass to Cunningham. He can't knock it down. Another slow start for the rookie. 1 for 6 shooting as I try to close out on Clifford, but that 3-pointer extends the lead to 15. Me and Clifford had a couple big battles back in college when I was playing for Texas. He was playing for the U. We matched up and was previously in my sophomore year in the NCAA tournament as Cunningham misfires once again, but I stay after it. Look at this. I'm staying after one of the few really competitors on the floor right now, it seems like, for the Knicks. I'm the only one that is trying to overcome this slow start as I pick Thomas Bryant's pocket and I put it through. Okay, so another basket for myself. The lead's still up to 16. It's been all Washington here in the second quarter. Meanwhile, we're just trying to set things up, but things still looking a little bit out of sorts on offense, but I deliver the lob up to Mitchell Robinson. Wow, should have been an and one in my opinion. All in all, just another frustrating first half performance for us tonight, especially after it started so well. I got subbed out up 27-19, and ever since the Wizards have been enjoying a 40-19 run. Ouch. It feels like I'm the only one there with a willingness to compete tonight. I got 15 points, 7 assists, only 1 missed shot, while limiting Clifford to only 5 points. Our second best performance as Toppin was 6. Ferran's been really good this season, but nobody is on all the time. Only 2 for 9 tonight, but there he knocks down a shot to get us underway in the second half. 15.7 assists. As you guys know, my shooting has been a little up and down to begin my Knicks debut and my first season here in the Big Apple, as I set a nice screen there for Ferran as he knocks down another triple. As this third quarter slowly yet surely became into the Ferran Nadim show. We're out on the break once again. Ferran leading the way on the Knicks side of things. As I give a little stop and go to Clifford, I kick it back out to Ferran wide open from the elbow. Only guys like us who have a lot of chemistry can pull off plays like that. There's a nice jumper by Ferran to cut this lead down to 11 points. It's been far from, a competitive game, but this is the closest it's been since really the beginning of the second quarter. Just got to try to continue to build off of this momentum, and hopefully the bench can finally bail us out. Let's see as I head to the sideline until less than a minute to go in the third, but once again the bench just not holding up their side of the bargain, and we're just going to jump right into the fourth quarter. Not much left to show in this ball game unless we can maybe pull out a comeback out of nowhere, as I try to deliver this pass inside to Ferran, and this one might be one of my favorites in my entire NBA career. Look at this. I put the move on Clifford, hop step, and this was such a beautiful pass underneath. Ooh, man. Once again, only childhood friends like me and Ferran can pull off a play like that. 90-77. Clifford tries to kick it back out, but once again I get the better of him as I'm leading the break. Bounce pass to Cade Cunningham, and finally we see a positive play from the rookie. You're just hoping that one of these days you see Cade Cunningham make that extra step. I mean, 11.5 points, 4.5 assists, and 41% from the floor for the rookie so far. Cade Cunningham in his rookie season. As Ferran will spot up again off the dribble. Way to go, Ferran. 9-0 run for the Knicks as I deliver another assist to him. 19 points, 11 assists on the night for myself. I've been picking up a lot more of Russell Westbrook here in the second half. He hasn't found much success. I go cross court. Ferran again will deliver. Yes, 99-91. We might have a chance still, boys. We're approaching 4 minutes left to play. It's still a double-digit game, but we're looking a lot better here. Late in the ball game, I try to go backdoor to Cade Cunningham, but right there, just another example of our chemistry being a little out of sorts as a team, and Bradley Beal knocks down the triple. And once again, another team reaches over 110 points on us. You'd be surprised to learn that we are actually one of the worst defensive teams in the entire Eastern Conference this season. 105-113. We take the L here to Washington. 21-15, 3 steals. This might have been my best personal performance in a Knicks uniform. Outside of me, though, it took us a long time to finally get things back in the right direction. Cade Cunningham finished with a pretty decent stat line, but you guys know he started out 1 for 8, and he just didn't have it for a majority of the ball game. All in all, we have a lot of question marks still to answer on this ball club, and right now, with this loss, we're now 2 games under 500 as we continue to make progress in the month of January. Let's move on to the next game, shall we? We all know on the Pelicans we had a couple of crazy rivalries such as Portland and Dallas, but with a new team on my navel, that means that there could be the potential of different rivals here, and the Boston Celtics may be one of them, as we're back at home facing the C's, as they have the top scorer in the entire NBA, but we'll get to him later on. Meanwhile, I collect my first rebound and assists on the same possession, and the first team basket of the ball game. Ferran, nice job running the break with myself. 14-9 Boston, still in the early goings. Obviously didn't begin this game with as much firepower on offense as the Washington game. Nice double move on Kemba, and look at this 3-point play. Wow. Moving to my right, and me and Kemba have a little bit of history. If you guys remember, whenever I tore my ACL back in my rookie season to end my playoff streak, my playoff run there with the Pelicans as we lost in the first round to Portland, Kemba Walker was one of the first guys who checked in on me. We had a little friendly one-on-one because he's from the Bronx, so he's only from another city over. So me and Kemba have some history. It's nice to see him again. And here we go with Jason Tatum. Nice pass from Kemba. And Jason Tatum, with the sudden influx of stars here in the virtual NBA, Jason Tatum might be the best one. 27 points per game for the 23-year-old. He leads the NBA in scoring so far through the first month of the season. Now we jump to the second quarter, only 2 points, but 4 assists. Let's make that 5 as I find Cade once again going backdoor, but as you can see under his feet, he's feeling a little cold to begin this Celtics game. 39-35 as Boston right now one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference as I'm coming off a screen with a little jumper. Yes, I hit another one. So my first 2 baskets of the ball game come from the mid-range territory. 43-37 Boston. We're having trouble finding some stops once again, as right now Carson Edwards is checking me, so I want to take him to school. We all know he is far from the best defender, as I go MJ on not only him but the entire Boston Celtics defense. Points 5 and 6 come with some fireworks while I'm at it. Wow, a double clutch move on Carson Edwards and company down low, not even looking at the basket. Getting some oohs and ahs from Madison Square Garden. One of my favorite highlight reel plays of my career. That one's going on the highlight reel for sure. 43-39 now, Boston still in control. We still haven't had a lead in the ball game except for whenever it was 3-2 as I knocked down another layup. Nice job using my body against Carson Edwards, the smaller defender, as this leads us into the break. 55-53 Boston out in front. Looking pretty good though as a team so far. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride tonight as it brings us to a halftime score of Boston up by 2. Sitting below 500 and losing 4 of 6, you really hope to see a young team like us pull this game out. The biggest thing that stands out is our bench performance today. The second unit has been suspect recently, but today, Austin Rivers and Kevin Knox have combined for 25 points in only 17 minutes put together. The Celtics are not a deep team, and it's good to see us New York Knicks take some action. I'm behind those two with 8 points and 5 assists. Ferran posted 7, and Mitchell Robinson is halfway to a double-double with 5 and 5. The NBA's leading scorer, Jason Tatum, has 15 points at the break. Kemba is 7 for 17 for 15 points. And Cade, once again, only 2 for 7 for a measly 6 points on the night so far. Obviously, when you're a team like us, we've lost 4 of 6, we're under 500, one of the younger teams in the entire league. A game like this could really set our season into a better direction, especially against one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, as I'm harassing Kemba. Here, I see grabs a rebound, and then Toppin is there. He's flushing it down for another assist to my tallies. What a way to begin the second half. 72-71 as we inch closer to the final period of play. Kemba tries to stop and pop. That one's a little off target. Kemba has been getting his, but he's been taking a lot of shots to get it. So pretty good job on my accord on the defensive side of the floor as I'm muscling my way past Kemba. I'm trapped underneath. Little dish off to Obi as he will display some power. As we all know, Obi, he's the type of guy to have a lot of finesse and fillet, but that one was a nice job using his body and his muscle to get a basket there as we head to the fourth quarter. Running a little motion offense here. Ferran off the catch. Yes. Really confident looking jump shot there. 8 assists to go along with my 8 points and 7 rebounds. And a little piece of trivia for you guys, I've actually never had a triple-double in my NBA career. I'm well into my 5th NBA season as Kemba finally gets one on me. But I've never had a triple-double, so I'm maybe flirting with one tonight in a pretty big game here at the Garden against a potential rival team. As I'm trying to pick up Tatum here off the dribble against Mitchell Robinson. No good, but Tristan Thompson is there on the glass. Yes, Tristan Thompson is on the Boston Celtics. And of course, with us struggling on the glass so much this year, it's only fitting that he's on our biggest rival. Such a good offensive rebounder, Tristan Thompson, as he converts the three-point play. 87-81, let's go a little triple threat move here as I'm gliding my way to the basket. Nice screen from Toppin as Marcus Smart fouls me pretty hard, but I still get it to drop. I'm in double figures in my points column, and I had one three-point play opportunity last game, and I missed the free throw there. I had another one in the first quarter against Kemba, missed it, and now for the 3rd time in a row, I cannot convert a three-point play, but we gotta move on. Tristan Thompson cannot stick me. A tough shot there. No good, but Mitchell Robinson has my back. How about a solid 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks a game for Mitchell Robinson down low. He has been really serving in that similar role that Richaun Holmes did last year. Really good backbone to this team is Mitchell Robinson as he knocks down the three-point play and does what I cannot. 91-86. As Marcus Smart checks in for Kemba. They want to go with a little bit more defense down here in the stretch as Smart is open, and even with a hand in the face, he still knocks it down. So Marcus Smart tags me, but I'm looking back up the other side of the floor. A gutsy assist, but we need to take a second look at that as Toppin delivers once again. He continues to impress, filling the shoes and then some of Randle. I was a little heated after Marcus Smart got that three-pointer on me, so I kept my eyes up the floor and I saw Toppin streaking like a wide receiver running a post route, and I hit him in stride, and look at that, he's pointing to me. I point right back at him like, there you go, young man, way to go, way to keep your eyes up and be ready for that ball. Way to go, Obi Toppin, continuing to impress. 96-88 though, we're a little short on time as Toppin rolls again. Daniel Tice covers it nicely this time though. So I'll give this one up to Ferran Nadim. So good in ISO ball. Look at that street ball move, but he gives it back off to me. Now the Celtics defense is a little bit out of swag, so I find a lane to drive. And this, by far, one of my favorite and ones of my career. Let's take a second look at this one. I catch that pass from Ferran, beat Smart off the dribble, and look at this hang time right here. I put all my might into getting off the floor, and I protect that ball perfectly from Daniel Tice, and I put it through for the three-point play. Man, a lot of highlight plays here in the Boston Celtics game as I continue to flirt with a triple-double and continue to flirt with this win against one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Can I finally knock down a three-point play with the free throw? And that's exactly what I get there. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Could this be my first NBA triple-double in 5 years in the making? Let's find out. But we also need to focus on this win just as much as I go Air Jordan on the Boston Celtics defense. Oh my goodness. 15 points on the night. And that one was a beautiful finish. Switching hands in midair, I go MJ on him, but Jason Tatum quiets back down the crowd. Nice shot there by the NBA's leading scorer. Come on, we've lost 4 out of 6. We need a huge win here in front of our home fans tonight. 100-97. Tatum against the rookie. He'll try to go one-on-one against Cade. Come on, stand strong, rookie. Cade did all he could, but he could not knock Tatum off his stride. 25 points. He's a basket away from reaching his career average, or season average rather. 102-97. 100% paid for Ferran. He's not open, so I will navigate to the paint, but Daniel Tice sends back my layup. Oh man, things looking pretty bleak here for the Knicks as Tatum, for some reason, rushes that layup. No good, so we have another chance here. I pull up from 15 feet and then I rush it. Oh my goodness, I cannot catch a break tonight. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists as we stop Kemba from making that three. It's all good, it's okay, we still got some time. Folding this one up to Ferran, and who else but Ferran Nadim will gift me my first NBA career triple-double with that jump shot in the open court. 99-102, Kemba. Ooh, I almost stole that pass there to Tatum. It's a 9-second difference between shot clock and game clock, and it's way too easy for Tatum, man. Knocks down that layup right back at us. So it's a 5-point game now with a 4-second difference between the two clocks down in your bottom right of your screen. Here we go with Ferran. He will try to take this one down the lane. A lot of contact there. No call. No whistle is blown. And the refs do not help us out at all underneath there. It looks like we're going to come up short here against Boston, barring anything crazy happening down the stretch. Jaylen Brown at the line. He will miss the second one, though. So, a 4-point game. Cade Cunningham gives it to me. I'll give it to Ferran, who will stop and pop and hits it right in the face of Tatum. 0.4 left on the clock, so I mean, hey, maybe we could do something crazy or steal it off the inbound. Half-court heave, that's the best we can do right now. Of course, in the NBA, they advance it to the half-court line. This isn't college, so we're definitely going to be at the mercy of the Celtics. And even if we can get this steal, best we can try to do, like I said, is a half-court heave. Come on, one of the best teams in the NBA this season. Can we have a comeback upset win for the ages? Inside to Jaylen Brown, and he will milk the last 0.4 off the clock. So that'll be it. Another loss for the New York Knicks as we lose 5 out of our last 7 games, and this was a very valiant effort. My first NBA career triple-double, 17, 11, and 12, 2 steals rather. And my fourth quarter performance was definitely one for the ages. I had 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in the fourth quarter alone, along with those Michael Jordan-esque layups. It was a really valiant effort from myself and my teammates, but we couldn't knock off the Celtics today. Ferran finished with 22, Cunningham once again struggled, and Emmanuel quickly was invisible once again, 2 points and 2 assists. As we flip over to the Celtics box score, 27-7 for Jason Tatum, the NBA's leading scorer thus far. Kemba Walker with 19 points, but I did force him into 23 shots. And Jaylen Brown with 12-7. So let's move on to the season schedule as we continue to win some and lose some. Here we go against the San Antonio Spurs, who are about 500 on the season. Mitchell Robinson with 22-3, a career night for our big burly center inside. I had 14-13. We're still without Julius Randle until the end of the episode, but we do sneak this one out. Cade Cunningham with a very solid performance, 18-6-9, and Ferran was 17 and 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Unfortunately, nothing much to write home about here in the Charlotte game. We came up 2 points shy, 12-12 for myself, but these are the type of games we have to win. We're at home and we only managed 14 points in the fourth quarter. And then we take a pretty tough loss against the Toronto Raptors. Ferran and I tried to carry the scoring load, but it just wasn't happening. But then a very good win here, a very impressive performance against Golden State. I had 10 and 15 assists. Ferran led us with 19 as I held Steph Curry to only 15 and 5, and a very good defensive performance by Ferran as well. 11 points relinquished to Klay Thompson. But then another loss to the Boston Celtics in the rematch as we faced off in the TD Garden. Only 12-7 for myself that night. So once again, not looking great right here in simulation. Right now 8-12, facing off against the Chicago Bulls, who recently have traded for James Harden. The Bulls sent Patrick Williams and a couple other pretty good guys in terms of young talent and a couple first-round picks for the superstar Beard, and we're facing off against him at Chicago, 12-7. They're another dark horse contender in the Eastern Conference as the East continues to get better and better here in the virtual NBA, forcing my way down into the low block as Harden is forced to hack me here. Already up to a 5-0 start, the Knicks on top. And I'm stepping up to the line to hopefully get myself back on track a little bit from the free throw stripe, as I would knock down only one once again. And my free throw line percentage is only down to 79%. And if the season ended today, that would be a career low as I hit Cade Cunningham out on the break. And much like the Wizards game, we are starting out firing on all cylinders. Hopefully we can avoid another collapse there in the second quarter, as it's now 16-6. Another stop is forced. Cade Cunningham leaks out, and he's open from the corner. Oh, not quite that time, but look at Ferran as he rips it from the hands of Wendell Carter. And it's now an 18-6 run to begin the game. Still up by double figures as we jump to the second quarter. Harden will receive the pass, and he still looks a little uncomfortable out there, but the tip-in is put in by the 7'1" rookie Aiden Blaine, who has been turning heads this season, and obviously he's the type of guy that we struggle to go up against with how bad we've been rebounding the ball as a team this year. It's definitely been probably our worst asset as a team. But there we go. There's a nice little jump shot there, giving me 5 points on the night. And me and James Harden go back a little bit too. He's actually the guy I made my NBA debut against back in season 1. Look at that up and under move off my pivot foot, continuing to do good things on the offensive end. 40-30 game now, New York out in front. But yeah, I remember my NBA debut like it was yesterday. Pelicans versus the Rockets, as I put the moves on James Harden, moving to my right. Nice job there. 42-30 as I'm heating up, 4 for 6 from the floor. Chicago, though, continues to dwindle this lead down a little bit as Obi Toppin there gets creative at the end of the shot clock. That was my fault if that was a shot clock violation. I was taking way too long with it. But just a little dish off the top, and as he flicks it up in there off the glass. Nice job from the rookie. He continues to impress as there's Reggie Jackson pulling it from the corner, and that's the closest the lead has been since the first quarter of action. And once again, a very another solid start is once again relinquished as we go into the break here at the half. only a 5-point advantage when it should be a lot more, and that's just been one of the bigger weaknesses of our team so far this year, just not being able to complete games and hold on to our leads. As we jump to the second half, I'm already turning over the ball here, and that's not helping out our case at all as Harden tries to shoot for the lead. No good, but Aiden Blaine is there on the glass. That one leaks through. More second chance points for Chicago as the rookie has 9 points on Mitchell Robinson. We dwindled this thing down to near the end of the third quarter with Chicago only trailing by 4. Levine holding on to the ball here near the end of the shot clock, 6 seconds to go. Moving off the screen is Reggie Jackson, but instead Levine will take it for himself and knock it through. Only a 1-point possession, 1-point game rather, with 1 second to go. I move to my left, stop and pop, and I get those 3 points right back. But wait, we do need to take a second look at this, and this would be one of the more impressive threes I've hit in my career. 3, 2, 1. Yes, it looks like I did in fact get it off in time, right in the face of the multiple-time All-Star Levine. And once again, another very impressive three-pointer made. I continue to play very well this episode. 14-4 as we head into the fourth quarter of play. Cade Cunningham immediately going to the basket with a double clutch on Chandler Hutchinson, and he will get it to drop. 3-point play for the rookie coming your way. 83-79, continuing to look very good against this potent team as Austin Rivers, who is actually our leading scorer at halftime. Believe it or not, Rivers had 11 at the half, and the hero from the first half makes a huge 3 there. He continues to play a lot better than Emmanuel quickly this season off the bench. 86-79, moving it up the floor here. I get inside to the teeth of the defense. Not only is that a blocking foul on Wendell Carter, but I got a huge bump from Chandler Hutchinson again, and I still managed to convert. 91-87, 17 on the night, and there's Ferran moving without the ball nicely, but a very beautifully done contest there by Aiden Blaine, stopping Ferran right in his tracks as Levine will hit from the corner. Once again, back down to a 1-point game, and the Bulls on another huge run. To be fair though, in real life, the Eastern Conference has been so bad these last few years. It's nice to see some Eastern Conference teams such as Chicago or Washington start to get good as we disrupt the alley-oop on one end, and then on the other I lead the runouts and I draw some free throws from Zach LaVine. I continue my very potent second half scoring. These last 2 games against Chicago and Washington have been really good for me down the stretch. I've really come into my own scoring the ball this season because that's something I really needed to work on as I struggled for the first couple weeks of this season, and I continue to pour it on here. A 3-point play as I take that baseline on the beard, rather. I almost said the brow, man. I'm so used to Anthony Davis as James Harden collapses to the floor in disbelief as I get the better of him again. This is for 22 on the game, but I come up short there. Still though, 3-point game, 97-94. Let's go with a little isolation here. Me versus Wendell Carter Jr. 4 seconds left to operate as I go with my offhand down the lane. Aiden Blaine comes over to try to block that, so I'm forced to force it up, but somehow, some way, I get it over the outstretched arms of the 7'1" rookie. Wow, another beautiful finish in these last 2 games. Chicago, though, not going anywhere. Tied at 102 here as we approach 90 seconds in the ball game. I close out on the beard, but once again, it's too little too late. You saw last episode, or last game rather, Marcus Smart tagged me in the corner for one, and now Harden does the same. 1:20 left to go, and the Bulls are back out in front for their first lead in a while as Reggie Jackson switches on to me. Once again, I'll take this down the lane. Nearly another block shot in the painted area for Chicago, but I say no sir. 27 for me on the night, more points in the paint as Levine. Wow, what a take there by Zach LaVine. 22 on the night for him. How did he make that one? And that's the exact opposite of what you want to see down the stretch as Ferran tries to muscle his way through, and the rim is not very friendly to him that time. Once again, under a minute to go, just like the Boston game, time against us here as I foul Zach LaVine. And look at this, that's actually my 6th foul. I'm forced to come out. That's something I didn't talk about enough, but I've had my fair share of cheap fouls in this game. The ref's really not doing me too many favors here down the stretch, so I'm forced to watch from the sideline to see if we can come out with a very clutch victory against one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Hopefully we do not come up short like we did in the Celtics game. Ferran one-on-one against Reggie Jackson. The pass is tipped, but he still gets it into Obi Toppin somehow. And Toppin is fouled. He's had a very good episode thus far, filling in for Julius Randle. Let's see if he can continue it from the charity stripe. Can he break into double figures here? The first one is off the mark. Toppin, come on. We can't afford to lose another close game. Toppin, the second one from the line, is off again. Toppin blows this opportunity from the line. And of course, as we foul Zach LaVine, the calm, cool, and collected two-guard from UCLA, who's become one of the better scorers in the NBA, has no problem closing it out. And another tough loss for the New York Knicks as things start to really hop into the danger zone. Things are trying to spiral out of control a little bit here. Are we really not as good as we thought we were going to be heading into this season? Man, we really need to start fixing these problems sooner rather than later, or else we might not even be a playoff team. I finished with 27, my highest outing as a member of the New York Knicks. Harden finishes with 28. It was a very entertaining battle between me and the Beard all game long. The rookie with 15 and 10. Once again, we get beasted and feasted on by another really good rebounder. So as we look to the standings, Milwaukee, Miami, Atlanta, Washington, they lead the East. Orlando, Toronto, Philadelphia, and Chicago are your 8 playoff teams right now if the season ended today. Obviously, only 2 months into the season, still got a lot of time to go, but we are currently 5.5 games out of a playoff spot, 10 and 17 overall. Man, that's really a tough pill to swallow just looking at the standings. On the other side of things, though, look at Donovan and Deshaun. They lead the West by a pretty good margin, as the Portland Trailblazers, even without Nurkic these last couple weeks, have the best record in the NBA by a pretty decent margin. So as we look to February, next time out here on the Road to NBA 2K21 series, we will battle the New Orleans Pelicans in a very entertaining matchup. This will be the last game without Julius Randle. He returns in the very next game after our battle with New Orleans. And luckily, this is in Madison Square Garden. It's not in the Smoothie King Center. I'm not sure what type of resistance the fans would give me there, but it should be a very entertaining game. We don't play in New Orleans up until the last month of the season, so a battle against all of my teammates from the past 4 seasons of Road to NBA 2K21 basketball. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we can try to turn things around here on the Road to NBA 2K21.